the Saturday wrap, the Easter Saturday wrap for 2025, Saturday the 19th of April. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't seen this before, this is my week. This was my week. And there's a little bit about what's going to happen, but it's mainly me moaning about things that happened in the week, the beer, the weather, the more weather, the tech, a little bit of politics, all that sort of thing. So let's start off with the word or phrase of the week, and that's the tumble, as in the tumble in Pontypridd, a Wetherspoons. I'll come back to that a number of times because it was rather good and ongoing. Anyway, the app of the week, a web app, an iOS app, a Google app, a Mac app. Anyway, it's Google Calendar. I love Google Calendar. Cross-platform, yeah, it feeds into my Apple Calendar. It's on its own. It's nice. It works, and it's great. And everything I've got goes into Google Calendar, and you can have your tasks in there now if you want, except that I use Apple Reminders because they're cross-platform. But Google Calendar, worth a crack. The thing of the week is obviously the bank holiday, the Easter bank holiday. The Easter bank holiday, yes, it's another washout, because that's what bank holidays are all about. I think Sunday is looking the best day. Friday and Saturday and Monday, yeah, they're great for potatoes and ducks, that sort of thing. Anyway, the song of the week, and this is unusual because it's from 1998. Kiss Me, Sixpence, None the Richer, from the third album by them, which is also called Sixpence, None the Richer. It's a pop song. It's a very good pop song, and it's one of those ones that I enjoy. And it's like, ooh, a bit of a earworm as well. So there you go. Kiss Me, Sixpence, none the wiser, none the richer. Anyway, the week that was, on Saturday, Caerphilly had its food fest. The morning I was in the Malcolm Uphill. The afternoon, I was back over the project where they had tables outside, and I thought, oh, perhaps there's food. They didn't have any food. They just had fine ales, including sours. So it turned into a sour Saturday, which I enjoyed. Anyway, Sunday. Sunday was nice, so I started planting some things, lemon basil, spring onions. They were both in tubs of chocolate, or ex-tubs of chocolate, indoors on the windowsill. And the last of my Casablancas, either first earlies or extra first earlies, went in, and they are enjoying the rain at the moment. And the first ones that went in, they've been earthed up probably about 2 or 3 times. Yeah, they're going okay, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, Monday, the first of the tumbleness. I went in there, had a look at the beers, decided to go for the weaker of the two, 4.5% Innkeeper's Special Reserve. It was only at the one end of the bar, the bar end nearest the door. Wandered up, the lady was serving someone else, and then asked me what I wanted. I said, Innkeeper's Special Reserve. And she looked at me strangely, and I said, it's only on down there. So she went down the other end, and then when we got there, she said, I'm very sorry, I thought you said Hitler. I didn't really know what to say to that, but I got out Faulty Towers, and I said, I don't know if you're old enough, but I mentioned it once, and I think you got away with it, and she knew what I was talking about, because her grandfather used to have it on the TV all the time when she was a little girl. Anyway, I didn't mention Hitler. I didn't need to get away with it because I didn't mention him, but Innkeeper's Special Reserve, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Monday night over Aldi. Compost is back. The seaweed-infused compost now has Irish seaweed in it. which is obviously better than just seaweed. It doesn't really matter that it comes from Ireland. It matters that you're told where it comes from. Easter eggs, yeah, that's the sort of thing. Tuesday morning, Android updates, the 6A, it got updated. There you go, security and all that sort of stuff. Tuesday in the Tumble, there is HVAC ducts. And occasionally, and especially when it gets wet outside, they start to drip. And it started to drip, and I let one of the barmaids know. I don't know if you're allowed to say barmaid. And she said, "Oh, is it dripping again?" Yes. And then it really came down, and it went all over the table. And they brought out one of those yellow wet signs, and they brought out a bin, and it went in there. But it went all over the table, and I just thought, that's the Tumble for you. It's happened before, and I actually have video of it. But there you go. Wednesday, looking out the window, the train trams. You know, the ones without toilets that aren't running yet, that have been stuck in the depot for ages. One of those showed up in Ponty. They look awfully skinny, to be perfectly honest. And, yeah, no toilets, which, if you're into fine ales, could be a bit of an issue, because they go all the way up to Aberdeen and Merthyr. There you go. Thursday, I got given an egg, because apparently I was a good egg, or something like that. I was very touched. Thank you, the colleague. I appreciate that. And then over the Tumble for lunch, and it was packed out. Absolutely packed out, which is a good sign, because recently on a Thursday, not that packed out. And today, Friday, because it's not actually Saturday, I'm recording this in advanced Good Friday washout. Yeah, packing, because I'm going on MB03 tomorrow, and the weather forecast looks yellow rain alert. Anyway, that was my week. A shorter than normal week, but it did seem longer despite the fact it was short. I have no idea. I might just be of an age. Anyway, Flansch t-shirt from Cologne. Or Cologne, I think you pronounce it in German. I could be very wrong. Comments are, of course, very welcome. Be knowing. Bye-bye.